There are people in your life who don't speak to you with kindness, who don't treat you the way you deserve. And sometimes the closer they are to you, the deeper the pain feels. You try to stay quiet, you try to be patient, you tell yourself, maybe they will change, but they don't. And slowly, it begins to affect your heart. You start losing your peace. You start questioning yourself now. And sometimes you even begin to feel distant from Allah because of the way people are treating you. But let me remind you of something very powerful. Not everyone in your life is meant to comfort you. When some people are placed in your life to test you, a test of your patience, a test of your character, a test of how you respond when you're hurt. So the question is not, why are they like this? The question is, what is Allah expecting from me in this situation? This is not random. It is written for you. My beloved brother and sister, there are moments in life when you sit quietly and wonder, why this person? Why this pain? Why this constant tension in my life? You look at others who seem to be surrounded by ease, by supportive people, by calm environments. And then you look at your own situation and you feel like you are dealing with something heavier, something more difficult, something that keeps testing you again and again. But you need to understand something very clearly. This is not random. Nothing that reaches you in your life is random. Not the people who come close to you, not the ones who hurt you, not even the ones who test your patience in ways you never expected. Everything is allowed with purpose. And when something is allowed into your life, especially something that shakes your peace, then there is something within it that is meant to shape you. You see, comfort hides many things. When everything is going well, when people treat you kindly, when life is smooth, you feel like you are strong, patient, and in control. But that is only because nothing is challenging you. The moment someone enters your life who is difficult, who misunderstands you, who speaks in a way that hurts you, who keeps pushing your limits, now your true state begins to show. Now your patience is being tested. Now your anger is being exposed. And now your expectations from people are being challenged. And this is where growth begins. Because there are parts of you that you cannot see until someone triggers them. You might believe you are patient until someone repeatedly tests your patience. You might believe you are calm until someone constantly provokes you. You might believe you rely on Allah until people disappoint you again and again. So what is happening here? You are being shown yourself. Not so that you feel weak, but so that you become aware. And once you are aware, you can improve, because you cannot fix what you do not recognize. My beloved brother and sister, toxic people often become a mirror. They reflect your reactions, your weaknesses, your limits. And through that reflection, you are given a chance to grow. But only if you choose to see it that way. If you only focus on their behavior, you will remain stuck in frustration. But if you begin to ask yourself, what is this situation teaching me? Everything changes. Now the pain becomes a lesson. Now the difficulty becomes a path. Now the person who was hurting you becomes part of your development. And this is why you must remind yourself again and again. This is not happening without reason. There is wisdom behind it, even if you cannot see it yet. And when you start trusting that, your heart begins to settle. Because you realize this situation is not here to destroy you. It is here to build you. Control your reaction, not their behavior. My beloved brother and sister, one of the most exhausting battles you will ever fight is the battle of trying to change people who do not want to change. You try to explain yourself. You try to correct misunderstandings. You try to defend your intentions again and again, hoping that this time they will finally understand you. But instead of peace, you feel more drained. Instead of clarity, you feel more confused. And slowly, you begin to lose your calm, not because of what they are doing, but because of how much control you are trying to have over them. But listen carefully. You were never given control over people. You were never asked to fix their behavior. You were never made responsible for how they speak, how they think, or how they act. What you were given control over is yourself. Your reactions, your words, your choices in the moment when you are being tested. Because that moment, when someone hurts you, when someone disrespects you, when someone pushes you beyond your limit, that moment is not about them anymore. And that moment is about you. Will you react or will you respond? Because there is a difference. Reaction is instant, emotional, uncontrolled. Response is thoughtful, measured, intentional. Reaction often leads to regret. Response leads to dignity. My beloved brother and sister, toxic people will continue being who they are until they decide to change. And many times they will not change quickly, and sometimes they may not change at all. So if your peace is tied to their behavior, your peace will always be unstable. This is why you must separate your inner state from their actions. When they are harsh, you remain composed. When they are unfair, you remain just. When they provoke you, you pause before you speak. And that pause is where your strength is. Because controlling yourself in the moment of anger is not weakness. It is one of the highest forms of strength. Allah reminds us in the Quran, those who restrain their anger and pardon people, and Allah loves those who do good. Look at how powerful this is. Restrain your anger, not because people deserve it, but because Allah loves those who rise above it. So every time you hold yourself back, every time you choose calmness over chaos, every time you refuse to become like the person who is hurting you, you are not losing, you are being elevated. My beloved brother and sister, do not let someone else's behavior rewrite your character. Because the real loss is not that someone was toxic to you. The real loss is if you became toxic because of them. So take control of what is yours and leave what is not to Allah. Silence is sometimes stronger than words. My beloved brother and sister, we live in a time where everyone feels the need to respond to everything. Someone says something about you, you feel you must reply. Someone misunderstands you, you feel you must explain. Someone speaks harshly, you feel you must defend yourself immediately. And slowly, without realizing, you become trapped in endless conversations that bring no peace, only more tension, more frustration, more emotional exhaustion. But let me tell you something very powerful. Not every situation deserves your words. Not every comment requires your response. Not every accusation needs your defense. Not every misunderstanding needs to be corrected, because sometimes the more you speak, the worse things become. Toxic people often do not seek truth. They seek reaction. They push you, they provoke you, they repeat things again and again, not because they want clarity, but because they want control over your emotions. And the moment you react, they succeed. Now your peace is disturbed. Your mind is restless. Your heart feels heavy. All because you felt the need to respond. But what if you didn't? What if you chose silence? Not because you are weak, but because you are strong enough to control yourself. My beloved brother and sister, silence is not always about having nothing to say. Sometimes it is about knowing that saying something will not change anything. It is understanding that not every argument is worth winning, that not every person is ready to understand, that not every situation will improve with more words. Because the truth does not become false just because someone denies it, and falsehood does not become truth just because someone repeats it. So why exhaust yourself trying to fix every perception people have about you? There is a dignity in silence. There is a strength in stepping back. When you choose not to engage in unnecessary conflict, you protect your inner peace. You protect your emotional energy. You protect your focus from being scattered by things that do not deserve your attention. Allah reminds us in the Quran about the people of understanding. And when they hear ill speech, they turn away from it and say, "For us are our deeds and for you are your deeds. Peace be upon you. We do not seek the ignorant." Look at the beauty of this response. No argument, no shouting, no endless explanation. Just dignity, clarity, and moving on. My beloved brother and sister, silence in the right moment is not weakness, it is control. It is knowing that your value does not decrease because someone fails to see it. It is knowing that your peace is more important than winning an argument that will never end. Because some people are not looking for truth. They are looking for a reaction. And when you refuse to give it, you take back your power. Distance is not disrespect. My beloved brother and sister, one of the most difficult things for a sincere heart to accept is that sometimes not everyone deserves to stay close to you. You want to keep relationships. You want to maintain connections. You want to believe that if you stay patient long enough, things will improve. But what happens when they don't? What happens when every interaction leaves you drained? When every conversation turns into tension? When every effort you make is met with the same behavior again and again? This is where you must understand a very important truth. Staying in harm is not a virtue. There is a difference between patience and allowing yourself to be hurt repeatedly. Patience is strength, but accepting constant harm without boundaries is neglecting yourself. My beloved brother and sister, your heart is not something to be exposed to continuous damage. It is something to be protected. And sometimes the way you protect it is by creating distance. Not distance filled with anger, not distance filled with revenge, not distance filled with pride, but distance filled with clarity. Clarity that this situation is affecting you. Clarity that this person is not bringing peace into your life. Clarity that you need space in order to remain emotionally and spiritually stable. You can still be respectful. You can still speak with kindness when needed. You can still wish them well. But you do not have to give them full access to your time, your energy, and your inner peace. Because not everyone deserves the same level of closeness. And one of the signs of maturity is recognizing who you can keep close and who you need to keep at a distance. My beloved brother and sister, distance is not a punishment for them. It is protection for you. It is you taking responsibility for your well-being. Because if you do not set boundaries, no one will set them for you. And when boundaries are missing, toxic behavior continues without limits. Allah reminds us in the Quran, and when the ignorant address them harshly, they say words of peace. Notice the wisdom here. They do not engage in the same behavior. They do not lower themselves. They maintain dignity and they step away from what brings harm. Because sometimes the best response is not to stay and argue. It is to step back with dignity intact. My beloved brother and sister, you are not responsible to keep every relationship at the cost of your peace. You are responsible to protect your heart while maintaining your character. And when distance helps you do that, then distance is not wrong. It is necessary. Do not let them change who you are. My beloved brother and sister, there is a danger in dealing with toxic people that many do not recognize until it is too late. At first, the pain you feel comes from what they say, from how they treat you, from the disrespect, the negativity, the constant tension they bring into your life. But over time, something deeper begins to happen. You begin to change, and not in a good way, but in a way that slowly takes you away from who you used to be. You were calm, but now you react quickly. You were patient, but now your patience feels shorter. You were kind, but now you feel hardness in your words. And one day you pause and you realize something that shakes you. I am not the same person anymore. This is where the real test begins, because the test is not just about enduring their behavior. The test is about protecting your character while you are being tested. My beloved brother and sister, anyone can be good when everything around them is good. Anyone can smile when they are treated with kindness. Anyone can remain calm when there is no pressure. But what about when you are constantly being pushed? What about when someone repeatedly disrespects you? What about when someone speaks in a way that hurts you deeply? What about when you feel like you have been patient for so long and nothing changes? This is where many people begin to fall, because they stop focusing on their own behavior and they start reflecting the behavior of others. They justify their reactions by saying, look at how they are treating me. And slowly, without realizing, they become exactly what they were trying to avoid. My beloved brother and sister, do not let someone else's behavior rewrite your character. You are not defined by how people treat you. You are defined by how you choose to respond regardless of how they treat you. This is what separates strength from weakness. Weakness is reacting based on emotion, based on ego, based on what feels right in the moment. Strength is holding on to your values, even when everything inside you is pushing you to let go. There will be moments when you feel like raising your voice, but you choose calmness. There will be moments when you feel like responding harshly, but you choose dignity. There will be moments when you feel like giving up your kindness, but you choose to remain sincere. And those moments, they are not small, they are powerful, because every time you choose your values over your emotions, you are protecting your character. You are strengthening your inner self. You are proving that no matter what people do, they do not have the power to change who you are. My beloved brother and sister, toxic people often push you to your limits. And when you reach those limits, you have two choices. You either lose yourself or you rise above. Losing yourself is easy. It requires no effort, no control, no discipline. You simply react, and in that reaction, you let go of everything you stood for. But rising above, that requires awareness, and that requires patience. That requires constant effort, because you are choosing to remain who you are, even when it is difficult. And that is what makes it valuable. Like, you see, your character is not tested when life is easy. It is tested when life is difficult. It is tested when you are hurt. It is tested when you are misunderstood. It is tested when you are pushed to the edge. And if you can hold on to your character in those moments, then you have achieved something very rare. My beloved brother and sister, never allow someone else's negativity to corrupt your heart. Do not allow their harshness to make you harsh. Do not allow their dishonesty to make you dishonest. Do not allow their negativity to make you negative. Because the moment you become like them, you have not just been affected by the test, you have failed it. And that is exactly what you must protect yourself from. Remember, you are not trying to win against them. You are trying to win against your own lower self. The part of you that wants to react, the part of you that wants to say things you will regret, the part of you that wants to respond in anger, that is your real battle. And every time you control that, you are winning. My beloved brother and sister, people will come and go in your life. Some will hurt you, some will disappoint you, some will test you in ways you never expected. But at the end of the day, you will be left with yourself. And the question will not be, what did they do to me? The question will be, what did I become because of them? So choose carefully. Choose to remain patient. Choose to remain calm. Choose to remain sincere. Because your character is more valuable than any reaction. Your reward is not from them. My beloved brother and sister, one of the heaviest burdens you can carry in your heart is expecting something from people who are not capable of giving it to you. You give your time, you give your patience, you give your kindness, you hold your anger, you choose your words carefully, you try again and again to keep things calm, and deep inside, there is a quiet expectation that one day they will see it, that one day they will appreciate it, that one day they will change, but that day does not come. Instead, they continue the same behavior. They continue speaking in ways that hurt you. They continue treating you in ways that feel unfair. And slowly something begins to break inside you. You start to feel like your efforts are meaningless. You start to question why you even try. You start to feel like all your patience, all your restraint, all your goodness has no value. But listen carefully, because this is where many people misunderstand the entire test. Your efforts were never meant to be rewarded by them. My beloved brother and sister, the moment you expect your reward from people, you set yourself up for disappointment, because people are limited. They forget, that they overlook, they fail to appreciate, they may never understand the effort you are making. So if your peace is tied to their response, you will always feel empty. But when you shift your expectation, everything changes. Then when you begin to understand that your patience is for Allah, that your calmness is for Allah, that your restraint is for Allah, now your efforts are no longer dependent on people. Now your peace is no longer controlled by their behavior, because you are not waiting for them to recognize you. You know that Allah already does. My beloved brother and sister, every moment you control your anger, it is seen. Every time you remain silent when you could have responded harshly, it is seen. Every time you choose dignity over reaction, it is seen. Nothing is lost. Not a single effort, not a single moment of patience, not a single time you held yourself back when you were hurting inside. Allah reminds us in the Quran, indeed Allah does not allow the reward of those who do good to be lost. Reflect on this deeply. Not lost, meaning even if people ignore it, even if no one appreciates it, even if you feel unseen, it is being preserved in a way that is far greater than anything people could give you. My beloved brother and sister, this understanding frees you. It frees you from constantly seeking validation. It frees you from expecting people to behave a certain way in order for you to feel at peace. It frees you from the emotional weight of trying to be recognized by those who cannot recognize your effort, because your focus shifts from people to Allah. And when your focus is on Allah, your actions become sincere. You are not kind because people deserve it. You are kind because you choose to be. You are not patient because they appreciate it. You are patient because you know the value of patience. You are not calm because the situation is easy. You are calm because you trust that your reward is with Allah. And this is where true strength is built, because now your behavior is no longer reactive. It is intentional. It is rooted in something deeper than emotions. It is rooted in your connection with your Creator. My beloved brother and sister, toxic people will come and go. Some will never change. Some will never understand. Some will never give you the respect you hoped for. But that does not reduce the value of who you are, because your worth is not determined by how people treat you. Your worth is determined by who you are in the sight of Allah. So do not let people's behavior make you feel like your efforts are wasted. They are not wasted. They are being stored. They are being recorded. They are being prepared for a reward that is beyond anything you can imagine. And when you truly believe that, you stop feeling empty, because you realize you were never doing it for them in the first place. And this test is elevating you. My beloved brother and sister, there comes a moment in your life when you begin to see things differently. Not because the people around you have changed, not because the situation suddenly became easy, but because something inside you has changed. And that change comes after you have been tested again and again. You see, at the beginning of your journey, you look at toxic people as a burden. You see them as a source of pain, as a reason for your stress, as something you wish could simply disappear from your life. And that feeling is real, because being hurt repeatedly, being misunderstood, being treated unfairly, it affects you, it drains you, it makes you question everything. But if you remain patient, if you reflect, if you grow through what you are experiencing, there will be moments of weakness. There will be times you feel like giving up. But do not let one fall turn into complete surrender. Stand up again and again and again, because the one who keeps returning will eventually reach. The messenger of Allah, Muhammad, taught us something beautiful, that every son of Adam sins, but the best of those who sin are those who constantly return. This is your hope. Not that you will never fall, but that you will never stop coming back. My beloved brothers and sisters, imagine yourself free from this sin. Not controlled, not addicted, not hiding, but strong, at peace, connected to Allah. That version of you exists, but it requires sacrifice. It requires discipline. It requires a decision that you are no longer willing to live like this. So make that decision today. Before this sin takes more from you, before it becomes harder to leave, before it costs you something you cannot get back. Because one day, you will either look back at this moment and thank Allah that you changed, or you will regret that you delayed. And that choice is being made right now. And my beloved brothers and sisters, as we come to the end of this reminder, I want you to pause for a moment. Not tomorrow, not later, right now. Think about your life. Think about the version of yourself you are becoming and the version you were meant to be. Because deep inside, you already know the truth. You already know this sin is not giving you peace. You already know it is not making you stronger. You already know it is not taking you closer to the life you dream of or the akhirah you hope for. But here is something powerful, something you must never forget. No matter how many times you have fallen, you are not finished. No matter how far you feel, you are not lost. No matter how heavy your sins feel, they are never greater than the mercy of Allah. Right now, at this very moment, you have a choice. You can close this reminder and go back to the same cycle. Or you can let this be the moment everything changes. Not because you suddenly became perfect, but because you finally became serious about your relationship with Allah, serious about your future, serious about breaking a habit that has held you back for too long. My beloved brothers and sisters, Allah is not waiting for you to be perfect. He is waiting for you to come back, to turn to Him with sincerity, to take one step, just one step away from the sin and toward Him. And when you do that, He will come to you with mercy, with forgiveness, with strength you never thought you had. So don't delay this. Don't say later. Don't wait for another reminder, because you don't know if you will get another chance like this. Let tonight be different. Let this moment be real. Let this be the turning point where you finally say, I choose Allah over this sin. And hold on to that decision. Fight for it. Protect it. Because the one who chooses Allah, even after falling, will never be abandoned. And one day, you will look back at this moment and you will realize, this was the moment that saved you. Oh Allah, you see me in my weakest moments, and you know the struggles I hide from humans. You know the sin I keep returning to, and you know how much I hate it, even when I fall into it again. Oh Allah, forgive me for every time I chose my desire over your reed. Forgive me for every moment I disobeyed you in secret while you were watching me with mercy. Do not expose me and do not let this sin take me further away from you. Oh Allah, purify my heart from this habit. Remove its love from my heart completely. Replace it with love for you, with fear of you, and with a deep desire to please you. Oh Allah, grant me strength when the urge becomes strong. Give me control over my nafs. Help me lower my gaze, protect my thoughts, and stay away from everything that leads me back to this sin. Oh Allah, make it easy for me to leave this habit forever. Break this cycle from my life completely. Do not let me return to it again after you have guided me away from it. Oh Allah, if I fall again, do not let me stay down. Bring me back to you immediately with sincere repentance. Keep my heart alive with regret and never let me become comfortable in disobedience. Oh Allah, replace this sin with purity, discipline, and peace. Grant me a heart that feels close to you, eyes that lower for your sake, and a soul that finds satisfaction only in what pleases you. O Allah, make me among those who fight their desires and win. Make me among those who turn back to you again and again until you are pleased with them. O Allah, do not let this sin destroy me slowly. Save me from it completely before it is too late. Ameen. There comes a point where your perspective shifts completely. You begin to realize this was not just pain, this was preparation. My beloved brother and sister, not every test is meant to break you. Some tests are meant to elevate you to a level you could never reach through comfort. Because comfort does not force you to grow. Comfort does not challenge your inner self. Comfort does not expose your weaknesses, but difficulty does. Toxic people, difficult situations, emotional struggles, they all have one thing in common. They push you beyond your normal limits. And when you are pushed beyond your limits, you are given a choice to collapse or to rise. At first, you may feel like collapsing. You feel overwhelmed. You feel tired. You feel like you cannot handle it anymore. But slowly, if you hold on, you begin to adapt. You begin to understand your triggers. You begin to control your reactions. You begin to detach from things that once controlled your emotions. And that is where elevation begins. Because now you are no longer reacting the same way you used to. The things that once made you angry no longer affect you in the same way. The words that once hurt you deeply now feel lighter. The behavior that once disturbed your peace now feels less powerful. Why? Because you have grown. My beloved brother and sister, growth is not always visible on the outside. Sometimes it is silent. It happens in the way you think, in the way you respond, in the way you process situations. And one of the biggest signs of growth is when things that once controlled you no longer have control over you. This is elevation. But it does not come without struggle. It does not come without patience. It does not come without moments where you feel like giving up. Because every level of growth requires a level of discomfort. Allah reminds us in the Quran, indeed with hardship comes ease. Look at the wording carefully. Not after hardship. With hardship, meaning while you are going through difficulty, ease is already being prepared alongside it. But many people do not see it because they are focused only on the pain. My beloved brother and sister, within your test, there is ease. It may not look like comfort, but it is there in other forms. It is there in the strength you are developing. It is there in the patience you are building. It is there in the awareness you are gaining. And most importantly, it is there in your connection with Allah. Because when people hurt you, you turn to Allah. When people disappoint you, you seek comfort in Allah. When people fail you, you begin to rely on Allah in a way you never did before. And that connection is the greatest form of elevation. My beloved brother and sister, think about this deeply. If everything in your life was perfect, if every person treated you well, if every situation went your way, would you turn to Allah the same way? Would you feel the same need to seek Him? For many people, the answer is no, because ease often makes people forget, but difficulty too brings people back. And sometimes the reason Allah allows certain people to hurt you is so that your heart returns to Him. Not because He wants you to suffer, but because He wants you to be close to Him. And that closeness is more valuable than any comfort you could have gained from people. My beloved brother and sister, there is another level to this test that many do not realize. At the beginning, you are focused on what people are doing to you, but as you grow, your focus shifts. You begin to see things from a higher perspective. You begin to understand that people who hurt others are often struggling themselves. Their behavior, their negativity, their harshness, it comes from something within them. Pain, insecurity, lack of awareness. And when you reach this level of understanding, your anger begins to decrease. Not because what they are doing is acceptable, but because you see it differently. You are no longer reacting from a place of emotion. You are responding from a place of understanding. And that is a higher level of control. My beloved brother and sister, elevation is not just about controlling your reactions. It is about transforming your perspective. It is about seeing beyond the surface. It is about understanding that every situation, no matter how difficult, has the potential to bring you closer to Allah. And when you reach this level, something very powerful happens. You stop feeling like a victim. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And you start saying, this is shaping me into who I am meant to become. That shift changes everything, because now you are not just surviving the test, you are benefiting from it. My beloved brother and sister, there will come a day when you will look back at this period of your life, the people who hurt you, the situations that tested you, the moments where you felt like you could not continue, and you will see it differently. You will realize that those moments did not break you. They built you. They made you stronger. They made you wiser. They made you more aware. And most importantly, they brought you closer to Allah. And when you realize that, you will understand something that very few people truly understand. Not every difficult person in your life was sent to harm you. Some were sent to elevate you. So the next time you face someone toxic, do not just see the pain, see the potential for growth. Do not just see the difficulty, see the opportunity for elevation. Because how you respond to them is not just about the moment, it is shaping your entire journey. And if you handle it with patience, with awareness, with faith, then one day you will thank Allah for a test that once felt too heavy to carry, but turned out to be the reason you became stronger than you ever imagined. And in the end, you will realize something that will change the way you see every person and every situation in your life. Not everyone who hurt you was sent to destroy you. Some were sent to reveal you, to reveal your patience, to reveal your strength, to reveal how close you truly are to Allah when things are not easy. My beloved brother and sister, toxic people will come and go, but the way you respond to them, that stays with you. That shapes your character. That defines your growth. That decides whether you rise or you fall in the test. So do not let their behavior pull you down. Do not let their words control your emotions. Do not let their negativity take away the peace that Allah placed in your heart. Instead, rise above it. Respond with patience when it is hard. Remain calm when you are pushed. Choose dignity when your ego wants to react. Because every time you do that, you are not just handling a person, you are passing a test. And every test you pass raises you in ways you cannot even see yet. So hold on. Hold on to your patience. Hold on to your character. Hold on to your connection with Allah. Because no matter how difficult it feels right now, there is a wisdom behind it. There is a reward waiting for it. And there is a version of you, stronger, calmer, and closer to Allah on the other side of this test. Oh Allah, grant us hearts that remain calm in the face of difficulty. Hearts that do not break when people hurt us, but instead turn back to you with sincerity and trust. Oh Allah, protect us from the harm of toxic people and protect our hearts from becoming like them. Do not allow their behavior to change our character, and do not let their negativity take away the light you have placed within us. Oh Allah, give us the strength to control our anger, the patience to remain silent when needed, and the wisdom to respond in a way that pleases you. Oh Allah, if there are people in our lives who are not good for us, then either guide them or gently remove them from our path in a way that brings us peace and brings us closer to you. Oh Allah, replace our pain with growth, our struggles with strength, and our patience with a reward beyond what we can imagine. Oh Allah, make us among those who forgive, among those who remain kind, and among those who rise above negativity with dignity and faith. Oh Allah, do not leave us to ourselves even for a moment. Guide us, protect us, and keep our hearts firm upon what is right. Ameen. There will be moments of weakness. There will be times you feel like giving up. But do not let one fall turn into complete surrender. Stand up again and again and again, because the one who keeps returning will eventually reach. The Messenger of Allah, Muhammad, taught us something beautiful. that every son of Adam sins, but the best of those who sin are those who constantly return. This is your hope. Not that you will never fall, but that you will never stop coming back. My beloved brothers and sisters, imagine yourself free from this sin. Not controlled, not addicted, not hiding, but strong, at peace, connected to Allah.